going to be keeping track of our SRL times?
I am. So
Oh, and
we have...
we're off. It looks like Square One started, and he picked Quickman first, which is normal in this, and Prodigy picking Flashman, which is also normal in this. Most instances, both Flashman and Quickman will be the first stages ever chosen in the tournament, mainly because we're trying to hunt for these items. Items will allow our runners to do different types of zips, and allow us to be able to, of course, get you the best speedrun times humanly available.
Yes. And what I like to bring up about the randomizer and what we can expect from these runs is it's almost easier to talk about what is not randomized versus what is. So items 2 and 3 will always be vanilla items 2 and 3. Their locations will not be necessarily the same, but their function is. The damage Mega Man takes from the enemies is the same, Yoku blocks are the same, and the Wily bosses are all in the same location. However, E-Tank locations also are not randomized. Everything else just about spin the wheel.
And here we see Prodigy about to come up to our first Robot Master, having to deal with needles, which unfortunately prevented him from getting the E-Tank early on in this stage. We have Square One on the right-hand side here, going through and about to hit Quickman also, which probably won't be Quickman. Here in Prodigy stage, we have Crashman. And we're about to see in a moment what Square gets in Quick stage. Well, so Square gets to fight Metal.
Oh boy. Alright, Prodigy is done.
And that was actually a pretty hard Crashman for that Flash stage. No items hidden there. And we'll see in a second, nope, no items hidden in Quick either. So, here we're swapping places. We got Prodigy going for Quick stage, Flashman on Square One. So going over some new additions to the randomizer that we have this year. Here we actually see both players playing Mega Man, but that is now optional. You have a choice of 4 characters. Roll, Proto Man, and also we have now Bass that can enter the picture. So you're going to see our players playing a lot of different characters this year.
So far it looks like everyone is Buster susceptible, which is a huge boon to a lot of our players, is you don't have to spend or waste a lot of time manning around to find which weapon is going to let you continue.
Yeah, I kind of like it. The Quickman stage looks pretty vanilla to me, so it's I keep on. Had I not seen the slight glitches, I guess, at the edge of the beams, I would have almost wondered if this was a randomizer watching it from Prodigy's perspective. And Square One going through these needles. Nasty, nasty those things are. So here Prodigy's gonna go and come across, I believe we had Flashman? Was it Flashman? No, it was Crash. Oh, Metal Man. That.
Oh.
You can see my memory's off. We got Crashman and Flashman stage.
And so now Prodigy just took care of Metal Man.
So Prodigy now going into Bubble Man stage. See our first zip, the Bubble Zip, most commonly used. This color scheme is terrible. Bubble Man's falls, generally called lag falls, because of the slight lag and buffering to the frame rates that it has a tendency to cause. But it should clear up once he crashes into the water here. And now we get a nice...
Square catching up, or taking care of Crashman there.
And here we see Prodigy using the pause buffer that's gonna... the ceiling part of the wall right behind him. If done correctly, he will zip
And an
all
easy
across
zip
the top.
across.
Yep. And get to skip doing all that spiky pit nonsense, which anybody who's new to Mega Man, I highly doubt anybody is. But it's those spiky balls are one-hit deaths.
Square Man starting Bubble Man stage right on the heels of Prodigy.
So, generally, I always feel that the first 3 or 4 stages are probably going to be very similar.
Oh.
This is about hunting items.
And the lag
so they're gonna-
falls.
Ooh, and Square
No.
One falling in lag falls.
Oh.
And here we have Flashman and
this-
Bubble Man stage.
I think this is intentional. Is he going for a game over?
Apparently, he is going for a game over. I guess he didn't like... Oh, no, he went back to Bubble Man stage. I am not really sure. Maybe he just needed to get a moment to reset his thoughts. He was keeping up very well with Prodigy. No
looks like
item hidden in Bubble Man stage. So... Alright, Prodigy now going to Airman. Once we hit the 4th stage, you're probably going to see a diversion in the players. And I'm sure you guys also noticed how we have a random selection of music from a variety of different NES and other games that were made in... Oh, and Prodigy taking a death to the crabs and the shrimps, and this is going to tell you that this is a nasty Airman stage.
That is highly unusual.
I do agree, but that just goes to tell you how difficult the randomizer actually can be.
Absolutely.
And this is a Square One, you know, gaining a few extra seconds here. I'm
It
sure
looks
Prodigy
like
is feeling that.
These shrimp are Buster immune. So that is, especially in the Airman stage, not a good sign.
No, because they can hit you left and right. You're gonna have to see some expert use of jumping and pause buffering. Which Prodigy gets through in a very, very timely fashion, I may say. This is not that, this is a very difficult Airman stage. One of the things that you'll probably notice is that the Cloud guys are gone. There's a good reason for the Cloud guys being gone and now being replaced with section. The Cloud guys originally just have that you would be item 2 to get to the section. And of course, us a shrimp or any other thing or item 2 is hidden or located here, it would just have been impossible to do this stage. So, with that being said...
Next to impossible. Oh, we found a weakness for the those drops there.
So we have Square One finishing up Bubble Man stage here. As you can tell by the water, the gravity affects all the Robot Masters differently. And in a lot of instances can be actually pretty beneficial to Mega Man. Oh, and Square One with just the nick of his life. Prodigy fighting Quick Man in Airman stage. Another thing you'll notice about this randomizer is that we also extremely quick kind of zips out once he ends up beating the stage. The reason and the function for this is that when time saves, that ended up one of our runners was able to test this out. Charlie Boy actually was able to test this out and noticed that the save amount was probably roughly anywhere between 10 and 12 seconds. I'm not, I'd have to look it up to give exact time differentials, but it's pretty high up there. So that ends up giving an overall save probably of anywhere between 1 minute to 2 minutes for our runners.
Which is huge in any speedrun, but especially Mega Man 2.
Here we have Square One going through the Woodman stage. we're probably not going to see the wood zip here, even if this was something that he was willing to attempt. Because I don't believe he has item 1 to do it.
Neither of our players have items 1, 2, or 3 yet.
And that's actually very interesting. I mean, they're down 4 stages. I'm gonna say one of these stages, whether it's metal or wood, has gotta have an item at the end of it.
Well, our players certainly hope so, and Prodigy making quick work of Metal Man's stage.
Oh, I'm being told that Prodigy got 3 in air stage.
Oh,
here we have Airman in metal. And Airman's patterns are always different. This is actually very strange because he's got a very slow force, which is making it extremely hard for Prodigy to hit it. Luckily, Buster is a strong weakness, and so Airman went down super quick, showing his backside. And no items in Metal Man. Okay.
I went ahead and marked off item 3 if he did get that one in the Airman stage, and my eyes missed it.
It's okay. This is your first time tracking, and so, this is the first time I'm commentating without a veteran commentator. So hopefully by the end of the by the end of this race, we'll be all nice and smooth as butter and get back to what's really important. That's focusing on our racers doing equally a very good job. Square One clearing out Bubble Man here in Woodman's stage, and Prodigy making quick work of Heatman stage. We're not up to Heatman yet. Oh, and Square One taking up to Bubble Man in Wood stage, leaving Bubble with just a sliver of life. That's so sad.
Easy zip by Prodigy right across the top there.
No item 2, so he's gonna have to jump those Yoku blocks. And Square One getting vengeance on Bubble Man. And he gets... We'll probably see him go over to Heat next. Nope. He's going over to Air stage.
But Square One did pick up item 2. And I don't believe... Yeah, Prodigy hasn't hopped over that way yet.
So, we have Square running over to, through air. He's got to deal with these crabs
shrimp.
And shrimp. Yeah, the crabs and shrimp. Who would have ever thought shrimp is an enemy? or what use would shrimp have that Dr. Light created him is beyond me. Here we have Prodigy fighting Heat Man in Heat stage. As the common saying would be.
Is it really a randomizer? No.
There you go.
I'm contractually obligated to say that if a red boss appears in their own stage. Just kidding. A contract implies we get paid.
Right. Prodigy making...
Yep.
Not the quickest work of Heat Man, but, you know, definitely that was a difficult Heat Man, and he's rewarded with item 1, which he's running straight to Crash Man, because now you're gonna see some fun zips in Crash stage. So here we have Shrimps here. Now, if I remember correctly, seeing Shrimps actually in this first stage means that they would have been in the area that you're seeing Prodigy zip through right now. For the most part, you would have saw them in the elevator room, which would have made the elevator room much more difficult. Taking the death here, this allows him to skip a good portion of the stage, not bother with the elevator room, and, you know, end up climbing this tower super with the item 1. And
unfortunately, Square is realizing just how difficult this randomized Airman stage is. He's already taken one death, and we're working our way back through.
And Prodigy leaping up this ladder, using item 3 to his advantage. Square One still making his way through Airman stage, but the calming music is just so relaxing.
All right, at the bot store.
All right, who did we have here? Quickman, right? So Square, I think, will be off facing Quickman here. As Prodigy gets through Crashman's stage with relative ease. He went through that super quick.
Oh
Zips
no, and a game over to Square.
Flawlessly. And here we have Woodman. Yeah, that's really sad to die at that boss stage and then know that you'd have to do that whole level again. I think he's taking a breather and gonna test out Metal Man. Grab that E-Tank. And Woodman being last stage here.
And so this is where Prodigy finally pick up item 2.
Yeah, I'm sure he was disappointed that it's in the last stage and it's running through his head now. but Prodigy being the veteran, he just goes with the randomizer. He doesn't let the randomizer beat him, and that was how he became our champion last year. Just go with the flow, and whatever comes across or not across your way, make do with what you have. So we're probably going to see Prodigy attempt the wood zip here, having the items that he needs, as we watch Square One navigate through Metal Man's stage. Really digging this use of the heat weapon. Making use of item 2 to get through metal a little bit fast.
I'm really digging this music.
And we're not seeing Prodigy do the wood zip. Interesting. He's probably just taking it easy and relax, you know, at the start of the tournament.
Yeah,
He's
also neither of our players knows how the other is doing. They are completely solo.
Oh yeah. Both our players, Square's gonna have to deal with a very difficult airman here, where the amount of tornadoes and the speed of the tornadoes is completely randomized, including the placement of the tornado. Oh, and Square getting that open back, getting through it quicker than Prodigy, I would say. And he's deciding to get vengeance back on the airman stage as we get to see off against who was in the wood room? Bubble Man. Bubble Man giving Square One a little hard time when he was taking him, but I wasn't sure about the amount of life he had when he had gotten into that. But now we'll see Prodigy get item 2. And Square One finding weaknesses to the shrimp is in heat, which thankfully even the energy use that you get to have with the weapons ends up being totally... Oh, and Square One taking a death because of the crabs.
The second death there, so I think this might be... Yep, that's another game over, unfortunately. It's just been a rough seed.
So Prodigy is here in our dragon area, and this is where we get to play a game of Guess the Color of that Dragon.
So yes, chat, please get your color selections and Buster weakness guesses in now.
Yes, I normally like to go with Bob Ross color. Prodigy's gonna get to this dragon super quick, so we better get our guesses out now. What are you thinking, XR?
Oh boy, I'm going to go with a yellow-orange dragon, and I'll say weak to metal.
Yellow-orange, weak to metal. I'm gonna stick with, we have a purple sky. I'm feeling like our dragon's gonna be kind of girly Barbie-ish. I'm gonna go for... I'm gonna go for a light blue, and...
Square trying to use item 2 to his
royal
advantage,
purple. Blue and purple. Oh, trying to use item 2.
Out. Oh,
no. I wonder if he remembered the Z-Tank, or if he just didn't want...
Last chance for your guesses for Prodigy, because here it comes.
Sky blue. Sky blue.
Yep. Oh, what?
Oh, it's like almost a vanilla dragon.
What?
I didn't name a weakness. Well, vanilla dragon, I'm going heat weakness.
Oh.
That might be no. Oh, he's a
was
P
Buster
weakness. Oh, and a Buster weak dragon. That's gonna make quick work of this Wily stage. Of course, we end up having the Wily 4, the great I was gonna say educator, but I mean, I guess it could be a great educator.
It's a great equalizer, and you'll learn.
The great equalizer. There you go. So, yeah, Prodigy not needing to refill any of his energy weapon. Here we sometimes see him, but he's not even going to test the wall weakness. He's going straight to Pico Pico. And gets a free life to boot. Square One still having a lot of trouble with that Airman stage. Understandably so. This is not an easy stage to navigate. They're literally, minus the fan guys, everything is getting thrown on the sun with him. But I think we're finally going to see him get here to the boss, where
when those
I believe
bees drop, they are relentless. And when you only have one space or one little square to jump on,
yeah, it can't make it too easy. Here, Prodigy's going to have to hunt for the weakness of Pico Pico, but being the Dragon Buster weak, nope, not Buster weak. So, oh, this is equally just as funny because Wood weak is a pretty thank God for Pico Pico. He can just stand there, hardly move at all. And Square One getting a nice full life refill as he goes and heads into his fight with Quickman. And Prodigy is known for giving you the best show, so here he gets to just stand and look cool. And Square One taking down Quickman super fast. He's still got a couple of stages left to go before he gets to catch up with Prodigy, who's now entering the Wily 3 stage, where he gets to fight Guts Tank at the end of this. Taking a refill on his wood.
Square One's going to find Heatman at the end of Heatman.
Oh. So it looks like the water taking that damage.
Septic.
Looks like it belongs in a sewer. No. Generally, when you fall in the water here, you'll actually see some sprite animation that will give you a heads up as to what enemies are actually in this water area.
I don't know if you just saw that, but on Square One, he just pause buffered to get across that little bit of a gap that he wasn't going to make otherwise, and saved him quite a bit of damage if he were to fall into that magma again.
Oh, well, definitely making great use of the pause buffer there. And here we have Prodigy, who gets to hunt for a weakness for the Guts Tank. I always generally find that the Guts Tank has a tendency to be weak to P. He's not in this one.
Nope.
So, Prodigy's gonna have to hunt for item weaknesses, finding it in Quick Boomerang. And Square One is going to drop that item too, get that extra life, as he makes quick navigating work. Oh, misses
just north, just a little bit high of that meme.
That is so mean to see your face just smiling as you glide by. So we have a very, very monochrome palette here for Wily 4.
And one of the interesting things about Wily 4 is that in vanilla Wily 4, there are some of those segments are false, and that Mega Man will fall through. The location of those segments being false is randomized, as is just about everything else. So as you can see right there with Prodigy, he's able to use that item to get back up the ladder, and
use a vertical zip here to skip this spike pit,
beautiful.
which also has a couple of pitfalls in it. And using the item 3 here, he's going to be able to glitch the ceiling so that he can get a little extra boost. The reason why the runners don't go all the way down is because you can overzip here, get the soft lock the game, or hard lock the game, actually.
Prodigy's in the anxiety rooms.
Yeah, having those gunners sometimes isn't the worst thing to have in this room. Some of the worst things that you can get in this room are definitely the fan guys. So they almost could be considered lucky.
Those fat fans are the worst things you can get just about in any room.
And here we have Square One going into Crashman stage. Prodigy making quick work of the Great Equalizer, which ended up not being such a difficult thing. A little navigating. You're going to see Prodigy do another zip up, and that's going to take him straight to the Boo Beam run.
Alright, and we didn't investigate what the weakness was earlier to these block barriers. So it's going to be a little bit of experimentation now.
Oh, but he finds the Boo Beams end up getting their butts handed to them with some wood leaf. How leaves can break these glass things, I have no idea. Oh, and Square One learning that the shrimp are actually, as we were discussing earlier with what ends up being in that first room in Crash Stage. Luckily, he was able to find that the shrimp's weakness is heat, but he's not going to be able to do a vertical heat shot. So this is going to cause a little problem here with him getting up, and he's probably going to end up having to make use of Flash in order to get up there.
Square having no end of trouble with these evil shrimp.
And Prodigy finding heat to be the wall weakness here. And finishing the boobies up real super quick with just one notch of wood leaf left. He wouldn't have been able to finish that otherwise. Which makes a couple of our enemy robots here. Oh, here we have Elecman's music from Mega Man 1.
I love it. This is some of my favorite Mega Man music.
I believe Minami was the one who had made this. Can't remember first name.
Chat, you've got your homework assignment.
Oh, I know, I should be looking it up first before I go and make a fool myself, right? We'll learn this as time goes on. So Prodigy fighting Woodman in his refights right now. And Square One still navigating through Crashman's stage.
Did I just see him use a...
He is not having an easy time with these shrimp.
Yikes.
Using wood to protect himself. Another thing you'll notice is that the letter characters that are actually on the menu are also randomized. The positions are not, however, so you should, even though it might throw you off for a minute, once you remember or recognize that the core location, you'll get through this a lot easier. Oh, quick, metal weak to quick. And Crash isn't necessarily weak to quick, but it does do some damage. But Prodigy getting hit here quite a lot. Oh, he's taking that E-Tank. Not taking any risks.
It's not much. There's not a lot of forgiveness in this game to begin with.
No.
Least of all on the wily stages.
And he's got to fight that vicious airman again, who's just got that extremely slow, where you're forcibly taking some hits and here. And Prodigy in
his last refight.
His last refight. Square using the item 3 in order to climb the tower here. And Prodigy finding a bubble. I guess a vanilla weakness for Heatman here. The very, very weird lerping, bubble shot. Alright, so now he's at the Wily Machine. Wily Machine not being weak to Buster? Oh my god!
What is this, a randomizer?
Oh, but of course the second option of Quick is what it is, and the second half is weak to Quick. Now the second isn't normally going to be weak to the same item that the first half is. That is also randomized. And Prodigy going over through the nice, slow, lonely walk to Wily. As we get to listen to this upbeat funk. And he's not bothering for any refills, he's just going straight for Wily. He's going for the throat right here.
Square
Possibility
one
of
finally,
sub 32 on the horizon.
taking out Woodman there in the Bubbleman stage and headed over to Wily's castle himself.
Square one going over Wily. Stage 1 now, as Prodigy gets to hunt for the alien weakness. And it's not Buster. And it's... well, I don't even know what he checked. Did he check?
That was the boomerang. There was Bubble there.
Oh, okay. I was trying to guess what the second one was. And it's weak to metal, making this a slow metal blade, but finding the weakness to the alien, Prodigy takes it down. As we switch over to Square One's screen for the time being. Can you get the SRL time of that?
I certainly can. 31 minutes, 51 seconds.
The SRL time of 31 minutes 51 seconds. Congratulations to winning the first round to Prodigy. As we sit there. Oh, that nice little quick sit by Square One in Wily One stage. And here we're cheering him on for a quick victory.
And as you can hear, we swapped music back over to Square One side as he continues to fight his way through Wily's castle.
And having frogs up there is never a good thing. Square One might want to make use of his flash. Has he tried flash before? Is it quick? Trying item 3 instead. Square is not gonna... oh, and he ends up getting it, but those frogs are relentless. Oh, and makes it up just a sliver of life. He's gonna have to take down this dragon. And oh, he's using his E-Tank. Okay. Square One definitely, at least he's gonna try the pea shooter first, where he's gonna find that that's the dragon's weakness and be super quick. Barring any, unfortunate incidences. You're generally gonna get a dragon, and for some screens, you're gonna completely disappear. Thankfully, this dragon's got a Buster weakness, and Square took him down
Easily
super
dispatched.
Quick. Super quick, easily dispatched.
I'm loving seeing all the support we have going on for Square in the chat.
Go Square, go!
We believe in you too.
Square, I think, sitting here wondering, finding out, I guess, at this moment that he lost to Prodigy. At this point, it's really up to the runner whether he would want to forfeit the race or whether or not he wants to continue. But with this pause, I'm going to assume
Yes, he
he's
says right
not
here
going to want
that
to
he
continue?
will forfeit, and we can move to the second race.
Okay. So Square One is forfeiting this race. We're gonna go and get our runners set up for their second race. We will inform you guys in just a moment when the seed drops. In which case, once Prodigy is informed, which I think he just was now. Oh, nope, not yet. But once Prodigy is informed, we will move along to our next and we will have our second.
Yep, so the way it works is it will be, there are at least two, so it'll be the best out of three. So Prodigy won the first seed. Both players are going to get the second seed. And if Prodigy wins again, if Square wins, then there will be a third seed as a kind of the tiebreaker to determine the result for this sitting. But
of course, you guys would be more than welcome to hang in there on Speed Gaming, because of course we have Charlie Boy versus Ren Hero coming up at 8:00 p.m. Eastern.
So we got a full evening of Mega Man 2 randomizer action for you.
So, XR, how did you end up finding the Mega Man randomizer?
I found the Mega Man randomizer when I found some friends on here that were actually playing Mega Man. And so I'm a little familiar with Daggett and Squid, stuff and things. And
some of our other runners here.
Some of the other runners that we're going to see coming up. And I logged onto Twitch one day and I was like, wait a second, none of this looks correct. And they were running a rando race. And so all the music, weapons, colors, different. And so that's how I kind of came into this.
And we have our seeds. So our runners are going to go and load up their new seeds and get those together. You know, bad about taking any kind of loss to Prodigy, as he is the champion of last year and, you know, extremely familiar with this game's in and outs, and, you know, has been, you know, one of the first people to actually, like, get their hands on the new edition of the randomizer and work on it the most. Always trying to beat his personal best with each and every run. He does not hold any punches.
It's taking a second.
We finally get some music back. So I believe Prod is going to be on Sunday. We are still waiting for Square to set up another. And after this, with Charlie Boy and Ren, should be very, very good coming right up. But right now, I'm kind of looking forward to see how well Square One does in this second iteration of the races. That was just a nasty seed. It really was.
It was rough. Those shrimp are going to be coming back in as nightmares, I think.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'll hear from both runners that shrimp and crab debacle, that must have been god awful.
All right, looks like
nobody ever wants to. Nobody ever wants to come across that, let alone Buster Immune Shrimp. So,
that tink sound has got to be frustrating.
Well, I'm curious about a Heat Man and being flooded by water. How he's just not taking double damage or something. The game Seafood.
Waterproof Zippo, yes. um,
Yes, we get to see your friend Daggett racing with Prodigy on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on SpeedGaming.
Yeah, we got quite the large field of Mega Man 2 rando players participating this year, which is really exciting.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of races coming up as this tournament just started. So we have quite a host over the next few weeks of just a lot of races where we're gonna go and whittle them down to our primary. While we're here, maybe it'd be a good time to go into a little bit of how the brackets work. So this year we have our brackets broken into 5 groups, Group A through Group E. Each racers will be racing each other one time, where the winners of those races will end up breaking it down until we end up getting our top 4 racing against each other. I wish we could post a photo of how the brackets work.
There is a picture on the site. Let me pull that up real quick. And I will post it in the chat.
Yes, there were different ways in which to run these tournament styles. I believe that Charlie Boy had mentioned that this is the Swiss way. And we're still waiting for our runners to get the next seed.
Oh, got some movement going on here. Let's see.
Oh, looks like Square One had noticed the seed was up. Or we're still waiting for Prodigy to get word that this for him to start the next race. Our racers don't know where the other racers are at the moment, as they're not allowed to walk. This almost looks like Kirby, what he's playing. Disqualified for Goodwood. Give Square One a 20-minute head start for Prodigy not paying attention. I don't think that's how it works, but I think we're gonna wait for Prodigy. Look in the chats now and probably getting the seed together. We'll be heading on to our next bout in just a moment, folks. Hang right in there. On the left-hand side, the Kirby Adventure tile set. I should have known that. The music. I didn't pay attention, so what's the story of our seed? Were you paying attention?
Of this current one? I do not know.
So, our stories at the beginning of every seed are also randomized. Quite a fun thing to actually look for, because you'll see some of your favorite games displayed on the bottom, and you'll sit there and give it a double take and be like, what? Like Chemco! I love Chemco, they made Shadowgate. And a warrior takes the sword in hand. Screen is a little off balance. I didn't notice that in the last one. I should have mentioned something to him. Let's see, can you guess the game, XR?
No,
Oh
my goodness.
See one line. See, I was with Ren Hero. I thought it was Final Fantasy Tactics. Because I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no, I read chat. I've disqualified myself.
Don't read chat. Disqualified! We're not that mean here. Yes, that's what it was. It was Dragon Warrior. Oh, Square One's screen is probably
Cut off at the bottom. Oh, cropped a little bit.
Yeah, the bottom's cropped out a little bit. It didn't like make a big difference while watching, but you know, getting things like the bottom line of text cut out. So. Alright, so let's get her done. We're gonna take this real fun. I feel like I got a lot of the diatribe out of the way of what's involved in the seed. Now we can sit there.
We're good to go.
We're gonna have fun. We're gonna watch these races. We're gonna sit there. We're gonna root Square One on being the underdog, because I always root for the underdog. I love Prodigy. He'll understand. But I gotta go for the underdog. We gotta go for the underdog. Ah, okay. So we got Square One screen fixed here on the right-hand side. Still waiting for Prodigy to join us here. Hopefully he'll be here in just a moment. But in good time. Buffering. And we're back. Had a little buffer spike there.
Welcome back, welcome back.
Welcome back. Alright, so here we got our second race of Prodigy versus Square One. I'm excited. This'll end up being to race one of the best racers that we have, our champion from last year. Square One is gonna at least have a feel of what he is put up against the best, and that's always a good bar to set yourself. Alright, now we get to read the whole and you know what? A warrior takes sword in hand. That is exactly, if I remember almost, what it mentions and says in Final Fantasy Tactics. Now I feel like calm. I'm almost feel like that's verbatim. I mean, what do you that grave story? But yeah, I think it's Dragon. I mean, could it be Final Fantasy Tactics? No, that's a question we're gonna have to ask. So hopefully Prodigy will get back with us here in just a minute.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, and here we go. He's got his seed loaded. And we're gonna be taking off in just a moment. We got confirmation that it is 100% Fantasy Tactics story. This is a 100% Final Fantasy Tactics seed. So let's see what pitfalls we have. Leia? race, our racers did not get any of the items after they had completed a good 4 or 5 screens. We're probably going to see both our racers run and flash first. And we're just syncing up, having our sync time, listening to wonderful, wonderful tones of Mega Man 2 intro, where they just ready to hype. And once our racers are synced, we'll be ready to... So we run on easy or normal. This randomizer tournament is run on easy. There are certain things that even the most fluid of racers will just sit there and be dumbfounded. Is still going to be extremely hard. So don't let the idea of easy fool you. See some things that are going to boggle your mind how our runners are able to get through them, but through perseverance, they always will.
We have our IRC reset, so we'll have the official time going. In just a minute, or not a minute, just a couple seconds.
Release the crap. Remember this.
What country was this for you, Sin?
So just know that you shouldn't play the seed unless you are a living Vincent. Seed number.
I guess we're going to St. Vincent.
Now, you can see the seed number here on the bottom of the screen if you want to race along with our racer. Sometimes you never know. You might end up doing very well.
So make sure you record it at home.
Record it at home. I'm a super fighting robot from the year 2010. Quest from Dr. Light to make the city safe again. I can't help myself.
That's amazing.
I know, only something a girl would say.
I will not be freestyling on SpeedGaming. Sorry, guys.
You're on SpeedGaming.
All right, we ready to go?
We are waiting.
And a little bit of a delay.
A little bit of delay. that rap portion was Dwayne and Brando. Interested.